Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to this week's Monday Motivation. Let me just change my camera angle slightly. So thank you for watching, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching this on the replay. So how did the Monday Motivation start and why do I do this? Well, I do this because from 2008 or so, I believe, when I worked corporately, I was a senior manager and I was responsible for the learning and development within people in financial services. And quite often, people would turn up for work on a Monday, kind of raring to go, but not quite. And what they would do is they would get started. They would get into their day slowly on a Monday, or even sometimes start the build up on a Sunday night. And I just wanted something, one way to be able to motivate people, get them to hit the ground running on a Monday morning and get them started and excited, not only for their day, but for their week and for their month. So that's when the Monday Motivations were born. They started off as an email with a little motivational quote. And then as I started my own business in 2010, I decided to keep this tradition on. And now with the rise of Facebook, with the rise of social media, I'm honoured and I'm privileged to bring this to you live. So hello for those of you that are jumping on. We're a bit of a later start today, and you may notice the lighting looks different. If I hold them up, I'll look like a ghost. There you go. For anyone who's never met me before, I've now completely freaked you out. But it's got dark in the mornings now. At 7 o'clock, it's just starting to get light. And as well as the normal kind of lighting, I also have my trusted lights. I'll just take one off the hook and just show you. Ta-da! There you go. So those are my lights that I am using to try and make me look a bit less ghost-like and a bit more well lit. So Ivona's here, she says morning, and Ali's here, she says morning. Good morning to you both. So one thing that I'd love you to do is, if you get motivated or inspired in any small shape, way, shape or form on these Monday Motivations, please share it with your friends and please get them to come along. Now, what I would like to do this Monday is I have got some stuff that I want to share, but I want to really understand, you've got your forthcoming day, you've got your week and the rest of the month to go. Is there any way that I can help to motivate you? So here's the thing, you guys show up on a regular basis every Monday morning at 7 o'clock, not the most sociable of times. And I want to be able to honour you and give you something back for joining. So if there is something that you want to be kind of, injected with a boost of motivation for your week, please share. Now, this is a public page. You don't need to share the intricacies of what that is. So, for example, you might say something like, oh, I've got a difficult client conversation coming up. Or you might even say something like, I don't know, I've got to clear out the garage this week. Or you might even say, I've got a job that I've been putting off for a long time and I could do with some motivation for it, So you don't need to sort of, dish the dirt or anything else like that. But what would be really helpful is if you let me know where or what you need motivating in, and let's use this for 20-25 minutes or so to really get you motivated. So I can see there's some of you watching. Thank you for those of you that are joining from Instagram. I feel honoured, and if you're on Instagram, connect with me there. I'm at Raise_your profile, Jenny Kovacs, so you'll find me there. And I know that for some of my contacts on LinkedIn as well, you might be kind of getting ready to rush out of the door, you might be on the train. So if you've got headphones in, I'm sure the rest of the carriage don't want to hear my voice, then by all means, hop on. So thank you so much for joining this morning. And this morning, I thought I would cover, there were two things kind of straddling, and here's where I was kind of looking to share. So the first thing that I do want to say, this might sound a strange thing to say for a Monday morning, and especially for a motivational Monday morning. But, you know, this week is National Baby Loss Week. And I want to honour not just the women who this affects, the men too, whether it's, you know, something that you've personally experienced. And we're back. Whether it's something you've personally experienced or whether it's someone close to you that you know who's experienced this too, I want to encourage you to reach out to those people who might not be saying anything. It might have been a long time ago, it might be recent, but either way, they are probably aware of this week and they are possibly almost suffering in silence. So what I encourage you to do, if you know anybody who has been going through that, is going through that, then, you know, please encourage them. And the best way that I know, having experienced baby loss myself personally, is that the best thing that you can do in that space is just to simply sit and listen and let them speak. No judgment, no advice, no, I think you should do that, just to let them speak. So that's what I offer out there. So if you or someone you know has been affected, you know, please do, you know, reach out to them as well. I can see the lovely Lisa has joined. So Ivona says, have to be full on this week to promote my event on the 12th of November. I have to be consistent doing certain things, for example, tweeting, producing relevant videos, etc. Aha! Now this is a slippery little critter. So in our paradigm as a business owner, we are told that we have to kind of work hard, play hard to promote, and that's not to say that you don't need to. So Ivona, how I want to help motivate you or anyone else that's listening as well, when you have an event, you don't actually have to be full on. What you do have to be, as you quite rightly say, is consistent. So whether this is, and let me kind of like break this down to make it relevant for not only Ivona, who's stepped forward and asked a question. Lisa says, morning Lisa. Not only for Ivona who's asked this question, but let's imagine that you are Ivona, who I know is a relationship coach, and she runs a series of different events. There are certain consistencies that need to happen as a self-employed business owner when you're running, whether it's an event or a workshop, a conference or anything else like that. Now let's also say, so we'll take the same principles for this scenario. Let's also say that you are, you know, working for a specific organisation. Maybe there is a conference coming and maybe people have no choice but to come. Or maybe you need to kind of whip up interest. Maybe you're going to be going to a meeting, persuading a director somewhere to let it go ahead, or forming it in the way that you want it. The principles that you use are the same. So the first thing to do, use that full-onness. Instead of being full-on, because that brings overwhelm, exhaustion, instead of using that full-onness in that traditional way, use it to stay connected with people. Now, this is one of the things that people often do, I see them do, and they wonder why it doesn't work. And I'm not suggesting that Ivona is doing this, but this is something that's really important to share. So quite often, event comes up in their space, it's their world, they've got to get it full, bums on seats, all that kind of stuff. So all they do is they go into fill in the event mode. And what happens is they become almost like single focus. You can see me putting my hands at the side of my head. Inadvertently, we can become blinkered. I know because I've done this myself. We can become very blinkered and we can become kind of one track, get the event filled. And what we actually forget to do, which is most important, is to keep the engagement. So I think for those of you that are live here, you all know that whilst I'm a life coach and I'm into helping you to activate your own abilities to be able to be brilliant, the thing that I also do is I'm a visibility specialist. Visibility is my thing. And I've been doing this since 2012, when in fact I first started speaking about it. People would be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And now everyone's tagging that they're a visibility specialist. And the world is big enough for all of us. We all do things in our different way. One of the things that I really love about being a visibility specialist is not just the thing about getting out there, it's the vibe behind it, where you come from, how you make it effective, and how you put it out there in the world. And how you put it out there in the world is nothing to do with me as a person, it's to do with you, everything to do with you. So knowing who you are, knowing more of who you want to be, how you want to be perceived in the world is uber important. So, Ivona, as you've asked this question, here's what I offer you to motivate your week. When you go onto social media, for example, so tweeting and producing relevant videos and things, make your focus about connecting with your audience. You know that I'm really passionate about showing up realistically on video without the tech and all of that kind of thing. Your videos will be more effective in helping people recognise that you've got your event and invited them to your event when you are giving. Traditionally, we are taught, let's do a video, and you'll say something like, hi, my name's Jenny. I've got an event coming up on such and such a date, and I really would love you to come. You know, click on the link before and come along. Well, that's all well and good, but what's in it for them? Why should they even watch? Because let's face it, the video is just about you saying, hello, here's my thing. Come and look at my thing. My thing, my thing, my thing, my thing. Why should they even go? So one of the ways that I would encourage you to really connect with people, engage with people, is start to share. So on your event on the 12th, there'll be information that you're sharing. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that that room full of people that you have are people that should be there. It's like, if you're going to run an event on cabbage growing, you don't want it full of mechanics. So make sure that your videos, that your interaction, your tweets and things are some of you broadcasting, but a lot of you kind of receiving, engaging and getting to know more people. My kind of rule of thumb, but you know, this works differently for different people, is 4 bits of information out, 1 bit of information back. Now, it depends on how often you're going to be tweeting and doing these things. And it needn't be difficult. One of the reasons I describe in my bio that I'm never seen without my iPhone in my hand, I'm actually broadcasting from my iPhone and this is my iPod. But one of the reasons that I say that is because when you've got like the Twitter app, when you've got the, you know, your camera on here, anytime that you stop for hopefully a regular glass of water throughout the day, you go outside for a walk, you stretch your legs, you take a 10-minute break, you don't sit behind your computer, something that I've learned the hard way. Don't sit behind your computer for 8 or 12 hours solid. But when you have, you know, you have this opportunity, even just a couple of minutes, if you've got like the Twitter app, the Instagram app, Facebook app on your phone, as well as the capacity and ability to make videos, it makes it less full on and gives you more time. So you think, I'm going down the stairs and boiling the kettle. So you say, and this is true for me, but maybe not for you. So I've been up since 5:05 this morning. I took some time to meditate. Why am I sharing this with you? Because I really believe that it's important that before you go full on into your day or your week or your month, that it's great to have some clear space within your head where you can think, where you can expand, where you can get clarity, and then offer, you know, for the rest of your day. So I hope that's been helpful for you. What can you do to make some space in your day? If you don't meditate, you might want to sit silently, you might want to read, you might want to go for a walk, you might even want to go to the gym. What is it for you? Boom, 1 video. Now that's seemingly, well, you know, that's fine. That's giving somebody something to take, something to do, something to absorb, something to digest. And then the next video, when you have your next drink or next cup of tea, could be, it's interesting, you know, I've spent the last 48 hours by myself, and luckily for me, I'm comfortable by myself. Sorry, I just had a fly or a moth or something fly in front of my face then. So yes, you do show the human side, but it's more than that, Ivona. It's not just showing the human side, it's connecting. Think of it this way. I read a brilliant article recently, and I think I tweeted this out, where one of the guys said that for many of us with events or businesses and things like that, what we tend to do is it's like we run into the room and we go, hi, come to my event, and then run out again and shut the door. And how he phrased it, which I think is so much better than my analogy of kind of running in a room or a dinner party or party or anything else like that and running out, is if you were to go out in the street or into a local shopping centre and go, hey, I've got a shop, come and buy my stuff. Same for you guys who are like working in organisations. Hey, I'm brilliant at what I do, promote me. Security would come and escort you off the premises. Only this time on social media, we don't have security to come and escort us off the premises, but you have your potential attendees, your potential promoter, your potential person that goes, no, remove them, don't need to see them. So it is about showing the human side, but it's actually more than that. Okay, so I hope that was helpful and not confusing. So just to round back, and if anyone else has got any questions about anything they want to be motivated to do, then please do. So, 3 things that I would say for Ivona this week. Yes, she needs to be full on. Yes, she needs to share great things that people can actually do things with. It's not just about showing the human side. So share great things that people can actually do things with. Keep them short, sharp and sweet, and be consistent. So if you're going to tweet about it, make a decision right now. How many times today are you going to tweet? How many times per day are you going to tweet up to the event? If you don't want to be standing there and drinking that many cups of tea or coffee or hot chocolate or whatever your tipple is, and you don't want to be doing that from your phone, then maybe use a system. I think there's like Hootsuite and things like that where you can go out and do that. But the biggest thing that I would say is have a plan. I meditated this morning. Now for you it might be something else. Take 20 to 30 minutes to sit down. Start with the end in mind, and again this goes for all of you watching. Start with the end in mind and work backwards. So you've got a nice full event, what had to happen before that, and then what had to happen before that. And then the other thing that I would offer you, people think this is an easier route and an easier way, but it really isn't. Quite often I see people with events and things like that relying on other people to fill them. And what do I mean by that? They think that they're maybe joint venturing or partnering, and they'll start to ask a friend or a colleague or a peer or someone like that to help them promote their event. But they actually will inadvertently put the pressure on that person to do it. And again, this is not you, Ivona, this is a general thing. And something that I see a lot, and something that I've done myself and fallen flat on my face. So, fine asking people to help and promote, but don't rely on that being the way to do it. The way to do it every time is connection. And although I have run workshops with kind of small numbers, been intimate and things like that, I remember in 2014, in just under 8 weeks, 30 people in a full day workshop. Some of you might have even been there in London. And the way I did that was, yes, I spoke about the event. Yes, I let people know about it. It was all about visibility in your vibe. However, the thing that I did was connected with people. It gave them a reason to want to come. So Ivona says, yes, it's helpful. Thank you. So I don't know if anyone else has got any questions about motivating their day or their week. We are coming up to 20 minutes. I'm trying to honour your time as well to keep them short, sharp and sweet. But one of the things that I did want to talk about today was, like, how do you motivate yourself? Now, are you driven to motivate yourself, or are you driven by other people? And that's a thought that I'd like to kind of leave you with in a way. So when there is something that you need to get done, do you solely rely on that inner driver? I see Ian's popped on. Hi, Ian. Do you solely rely on that inner kind of engine to get you out there, to get you going and keep you going? Or, thank you for the thumbs up. Or do you rely on or do you not rely on, I guess, do you get motivated by those external things, those external people? So, for example, let's say that you are about to launch your services or something for your company, something for your business, something for your organisation. Ian says, "Good morning, Jenny." He normally says, "Hey up." He's got a gorgeous Yorkshire accent, as our Ian. So he says, "Sorry I'm late, miss. No worries, you can watch on the replay here. And you're a very busy bee anyway." So, I've just completely lost my train of thought then. I've completely distracted myself. Oh yeah. So if one of the most important things to identify, because then you can tweak it and make it work for you, is when you go to do something, are you able to like motivate yourself like yes, 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 yes? Or do you get more motivated by external things? So maybe you see something happen in the world and think, no, I need to put a stop to that. That's not going to happen under my watch, and that's what you do. So the reason that it's important to identify that gives you the level of success, for want of a better word, in terms of moving forward. If you know that you're very driven by the external world, there's certain ways in which to show up. And if you're very driven by the internal world, so you can get yourself motivated, there'll be different ways for you to get motivated and show up. Hope that makes sense. Ivona says, the word connection will be one of my favourite words this week and beyond. Thanks. Absolutely. It's all about connection, always about connection. I can share not only my own stories, but stories of other people that I've sat next to at conferences, and people who I like randomly met online and then connected with, and the opportunities and the things that have come out of that have been immense. I remember sitting next to somebody in 2012 who was a bit nervous about something, and we had a quick conversation in the break. I did this kind of breathing thing. I said, try this, and they were good, and off they went and did the thing that I needed to do. And I remember afterwards I recommended a book for them, and because they were travelling a lot, I just kind of contacted them and said, look, I've got a copy of that, but let me send it to you. Sent it off to them. Sent it off to them while they were overseas. They read the book, they sent me a message back and said, thank you so much. We kept in contact. And in 2015, I was approached by this person to help them with their own visibility within their business. And that was one of my premium packages, to use Julia Bernard's words. And that package was worth annually over £21,000. Now, I say that because I could have gone into a space that very first time I met them to say, I do this, I do this, I do that, I can help you with this. And you know what? I connected with them, I gave first. And I noticed that they needed something right there, right then. And I knew that I could help. So with their permission, they asked how to do something, and I just gave freely of them right there and then. Now, that came back to me in terms of what I call the business boomerang. That came back to me in leaps and bounds. So whether you are running your own business, whether you are working in an organisation, or even doing both, because I know some of you are, you're kind of building your own platforms while you're helping other people do other things and working and doing that, and I completely condone that. I think it's a really sensible idea. So, whatever you're doing, if you're working within an organisation, people can perceive, especially corporates, being cutthroat, and that's not necessarily true. I worked in financial services for a long time. I worked through the crash and the other side of it. And one of the things that I noticed for the people who had genuine success, were genuinely esteemed, regarded and promoted, were those people who gave. They gave, they connected, they kind of went against the tide of, this is me, this is my stuff, I'm not going to share, and they connected with those around them for no good reason at all, and they gave. And it's ironic that Miss Julia Bernard Thompson joins us, because I just talked about you. So if you want to know what I said, you're going to have to watch the replay. Ha, 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 ha. So I just want to say thank you for those of you who just kind of dropping by now. So to Helen, to Julia, to Ian, to Ivona, to Ali, to Lisa, thank you for joining me in this Monday motivation. what I really want to say to you is, you know, go out there and be magnificent. Go out there and be the best person you can be and connect. Hi, Helen. And connect in the way that you can with people, from the place that you can. And, you know, if you enjoy these, please tell your friends, please share them. If you're not part of the Visibility Vibe tribe, then what are you waiting for? Get in there and, you know, give, take and do whatever you can. Thank you so much for honouring the time and joining me this Monday. And, you know, go out there and be brilliant, because you already are. I do this because people matter, and those people are you. Thank you so much. See you next Monday, or maybe earlier in the week. Take care and bye for now.